as a former teacher, 2 years, but I must admit I taught in a private school because I was a seminarian at the time, so I was teaching
That's
high
okay.
school in a Catholic school. But I loved my experience in the classroom. And the one thing I know from that experience, particularly like in San Francisco, the lay teachers there, they were having a hard time raising their family on a teacher's salary. I mean, are people still coming into teaching, giving that?
Well,
It's tough. I mean,
tough isn't even
No, right.
a strong enough
I
word.
remember
Because you still need to take vows of poverty and obedience to be a public school teacher.
Yeah,
And
well,
probably
yeah.
a Catholic school
Well,
teacher
that's
too.
not fair, right?
But so there is still the nun model here that we're working with. But here's something else. I started. I got my first teaching job in 1980 when I was 12, and I remember I made, as a Utah teacher that year, $11,000 a year. That was, I will never forget getting that, and I was like on. I was on cloud nine, going, "Wow, I make almost $1,000 a month," and it was. But oh yeah, we lived in somebody's basement apartment, and we lived on a shoestring. But now what we are up against.
Is it getting better today?
No. What we're up
Is it
against
even
now is
competitive today?
fewer parents are encouraging their children to go into education. And here's why. Because it has become so expensive to go to college that they're saying you won't be able to pay off your student loan if you're a teacher, if you're a social worker, if you're in public service. So let's go back to Betsy's budget. It cuts Pell Grants. It cuts work study. It cuts student loans. It cuts all the things that made it possible for me to go to college. I was the first one in my family to go to college. My dad never graduated from high school. My parents, military family, 6 kids, all their kids were going to graduate from high school. That was their lofty ambition for us. So I was 20 years old working in a Head Start program as a teacher's assistant when a kindergarten teacher said, "Lily, you're really good with kids. You should go to college and be a teacher." And I'd been married for 3 years. I got married out of high school. I had a 6-month-old little boy. And I qualified for every low income, everything, Pell Grants. I got some scholarships. I took out a student loan. I did work study. And those programs helped me become a teacher.
Sure.
I paid it all back. I think that was an investment in me. Now it's, if your parents aren't wealthy enough to have saved up tens of thousands of dollars for your education to pay cash, you're out of luck.
Was it Jimmy Carter maybe who said that our best national defense are our public schools?
I adore Jimmy Carter. One of
he
our
said that, but I mean it's so true, isn't it?
He thought it because it was under Jimmy Carter that we got our first Secretary of Education. It became a cabinet level, important enough, department that it got a cabinet level slot under his watch. And so more and more, we don't have a national system of education. I'm not promoting a national system of education. I don't want Congress to be our national school board.
Still local control.
But to say that every child, no matter where you live, should be protected. And we know that certain states have not protected all of our children. We know states right now that are discriminating against our transgendered students, using them for political purposes. And so we want a federal presence that protects our most vulnerable children.